everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Huck. Today we're doing a currently reading update to chat about what I've been reading recently. The books that I'm reading right now I am really enjoying, which is great. But first, let's talk about the last book I was reading, which is actually a DNF of a reread, which I feel like DNFing a reread is relatively uncommon, at least for me. But in this case, I haven't read this book in so long that I barely remembered it. But that is The Rune Lords by David Farland. So this is a book that I read when I was maybe 13 or so, and I do have some like nostalgic attachment and memories about this book, but I haven't read it since. And I definitely just did not enjoy it rereading it now. And some of that is just because of like things about the writing or storytelling, and then there were also some like more specific issues that I had with the book. There's a whole range of reasons why I just was not enjoying this reread, and then I put it down for a bit and forgot I was even reading it, so I decided that this is just going to be a DNF. So then for what I am currently reading, after DNFing that, I picked up some books that I have really been liking. So one of my main physical reads is Hall of Smoke by H.M. Long. This is a book that I'm buddy reading with people from the channel. We're buddy reading it on Discord. And this is a Norse-inspired fantasy where we're following Hessa, who is one of these, who's chosen by her goddess. There are these like warrior priestesses chosen by their goddess to protect their people, and they get, it seems like, special powers of some sort from their goddess. But then people from the mountains come and like kill everybody in her town and all of the other priestesses, and she's the only one who survives because she happened to be up on a mountain like repenting for something she had done wrong. But then when she comes back down, she is captured and enslaved, and then we're following her as she is trying to escape, trying to figure out what's going on. Her goddess has like speaks to her and has given her this task to kill this specific man who she failed to kill, and so her goddess is now angry at her and is and it has kind of like removed her favor from her. And so Hessa is also like part of her quest is to win back her goddess's favor and kill this man. But now there are some like questions being raised as to like, who is this man? Why is her goddess asking her to kill? And Hessa is very much the kind of person who she's been very much learned to just not question her goddess. She just does what she is commanded. But there are some questions that are starting to be raised. Anyways, I am really enjoying this so far. Right now, I am about 75 pages into it, and I am really like it. I like the writing and the characters. I think the author is doing a good job of like building character quickly in a way that gets me invested in them pretty quickly, and you feel like you know them. I am really interested in like this world and the gods, and I have so many questions that I want to know about these gods and how they work, and who is this man that she's meant to kill, and why are their destinies intertwined. And I think the only thing I'm not sure if I like about it so far is that every couple of chapters we do get like a flashback chapter that flashes back to her childhood, and at the moment I don't feel like we're getting there's no real value add from those chapters to me so far. And I just feel like they kind of interrupt the flow of the story and take you away from like this plot and characters that I am very interested in. However, I think it's possible that as the story goes, maybe those flashbacks will culminate in some way, and I'll understand why they are important. But at the moment, they're kind of annoying me. But overall, really enjoying this. The other book I am currently reading physically, I just picked up today, which is The Fourth Island by Sarah Tolmie. This is a little novella, so I will probably also finish this today, maybe tomorrow. It is about the fourth Aran Island, which is a magical lost island, which can only be found, it can only be reached by people who have experienced like a traumatic emotional event. And so we are following two characters from one of the other islands who have both found themselves on this lost island. And I am about a third of the way in, which is about 37 pages. And so far I am really liking this. I'm enjoying the writing. It's very like atmospheric. It has this kind of like cold island feel to it, which I like. I am still not sure kind of what the form of the story itself is, but I am liking this so far. And this book I particularly wanted to pick up in December because I know that this author has another book coming out early next year, and I wanted to know if I should be excited about that book, if I, like her writing, which so far feeling optimistic about this. And then the other book that I'm currently reading, which is my audiobook, is City of Dragons by Robin Hobb. So this is the third book in the Rainwild Chronicles, which take place in the Rainwilds. We're with the dragons and the dragon keepers. Yeah, and I just started this recently. I think I read like the first 2 chapters so far, but I'm liking it. I'm listening to this as an audiobook, as I have with this quartet I've been listening to as audiobooks and really liking them. And I'm glad to be back to this series and, continuing on in my like binge of this series so I can finish it before the end of the year. So those are the books that I am currently reading. Then for what I'll be reading next, my next audiobook I think will be fairly obvious because it will be Blood of Dragons, the final book in the Rainwild Chronicles quartet. So that'll be after City of Dragons. And then for the next physical book I'm going to be reading, I'm not totally sure, but I think that it will be The Dark Mirror by Juliet Marillier. I really want to read at least this first book in December, or reread this, because this is actually another reread. And I hope and I feel pretty confident that this reread will go better for me than my reread of the Rune Lords, because Juliet Marillier is always good. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to rereading this one because I haven't ever reread it since the first time I read this. So those are the books that I think I will be reading next. I'd love to know what you have been reading recently. Do you have any rereads, any books that you reread and were just like a failed reread, because maybe you haven't read it in such a long time and you're like, oh, I do not remember this. I'd love to know, or just how your reading has been going recently. But thank you all for watching, and until next time, bye.